The Seoul city government has announced that it will expand the operation of late-night taxi services and extend bus operation hours through the end of the year to meet the surge in demand from year-end gatherings.
서울시는 모임이 잦은 연말의 시민 수요에 맞춰 12월 한 달 동안 심야 택시 공급을 늘리고 버스 막차 시간을 연장하는 교통대책을 발표했습니다. Yeah, loads of year-end gatherings.
Yeah, I think, the next 3 weeks or so, everybody's going to be out at some point.
Yep.
And sometimes you end up going out a little later than you expected and getting home can be a hassle. But the city is going to be supplying something like 1,000 additional night taxis. There will be 4 temporary taxi stop locations set up in areas like Gangnam and Jongno where there's a lot of people. And that's going to happen for the remaining Fridays of the month, also on December the 19th. They're going to have more people out from 11:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. They're also going to crack down on those taxis, and I don't know whether you've ever had this experience. I remember having it a few times, a long time ago, when taxi drivers would not accept passengers or say, give me double the amount or whatever it may be. They're going to crack down on that. The other good news is that buses are going to be extended in the 11 downtown areas to 1 a.m. from December 16th right through to the end of the year. And also there's going to be 28 more intracity buses operating from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. from December 17th. There's going to be a lot more transport available. So if you find yourself stuck, don't worry. There's probably a bus or a taxi waiting for you.
Exactly. Let's have a look at the word expanding taxi services.
Yes, meaning to get larger. I expanded when I came to Korea. Quite literally. The food was too good, Sue. Yes, so if something expands, it grows in size. Not just one way, but the whole volume of it, the whole mass of it expands. As opposed to extend, which means to get longer.
Yep. That's right. expand하고 extend가 둘 다 이 헤드라인에 들어있는데요. expand라는 것은 부피가 늘어나다, 무언가가 확대되다. 그래서 좀 이렇게 동그랗게 커지는 이미지 생각하시면 될 것 같은데요. extend라는 거는 길쭉하게 늘어나는 거예요. 그러니까 시간이나 길이가 연장이 될 때 이건 extending이 된다고 합니다. 자, 그래서 여기 보면은 expand the operation of late night taxi services. 택시 서비스를 확대한다, 늘린다. 그때는 expand를 썼고요. 그 다음에 bus operation hours. 시간이죠. 그러니까 길이이기 때문에 시간이나 길이는 extend를 씁니다. 네, 그래서 이렇게 두 가지 단어 같이 알아두시면 좋고요. 그다음에 meet the demand.
Yes, if we meet the demand of something, it means we are able to match the number of people or the number of customers that want whatever that is.
Yep.
So, for example, businesses that sell Christmas cakes will be trying to meet the demand of all the hungry customers coming to them, meaning they'll try to serve them and give them what they want. We talk about supply and demand, and here we have a surge in demand, meaning suddenly lots more people are wanting them.
자, 여기서의 meet는요, 만나다가 아니라 무언가를 충족하다의 의미가 있습니다. 그래서 뒤에 나오는 demand가 여기선 수요인데 어떤 요구사항 같은 것들을 충족했을 때 meet the demand, meet the requirement, meet the necessary 뭐가 있을까요 또?
Well, you can meet adversity with a smile on your face, for example.
그때는 좀 다른
It's a little
의미이긴
different.
한데.
I'm sorry, yes.
네네네. 그때는 이제
Ignore me, Sue.
뭔가를
Ignore me.
직면하다의 의미인데요. 네, 근데 그런 표현도 알아두시면 좋긴 해요. 그래서 meet adversity라는 거는 어려움을 내가 이제 직면하다. 근데 여기서 말하는 meet the demand, meet the requirement 이렇게 두 가지 정도만 기억하시면 될 것 같은데 그때는 무언가를 충족시킨다라는 의미가 되겠습니다. 그래서 여기서는 meet the surge in demand from year-end gatherings. 연말 모임이 굉장히 많이 늘어날 것이기 때문에 그런 수요를 충족시키기 위한 택시 서비스와 버스 서비스 확장, 연장이 있을 예정이다. 실제로 이제 12월 이제 내내 그럴 거라고 합니다. All right, well, here's the headline again. The Seoul city government has announced that it will expand the operation of late-night taxi services and extend bus operation hours through the end of the year to meet the surge in demand from year-end gatherings. Now let's move on to the next headline.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has disclosed that 43,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed and 370,000 wounded since Russia's full-scale invasion began nearly 3 years ago.
볼로디미르 젤렌스키 우크라이나 대통령이 3년 전 러시아의 본격 침공 이후 지금까지 자국군 4만 3천 명이 전사했고 37만 명의 부상자가 발생했다고 밝혔습니다. Wow, a lot of people have suffered from this war.
Yes. The question is are these figures correct? Because US officials in August 2023 said the number of soldiers who were killed on Ukraine's side was something like 70,000. So there is a difference between these two figures. What's interesting is the timing, because he, along with President Macron, met with President-to-be Trump, right. President-elect Trump, and Trump said that Ukraine had lost 400,000 soldiers. And it was a few hours after that, I think he wanted to clarify that yes, there were 370,000 wounded, but it was 43,000 who had been killed. Russia, on the other hand, looking at something like 400,000 irreplaceable losses. That said, Russia's a much larger country with much better resources, which means, well, the impact on Ukraine has been much harsher.
It's been 3 years already since
It's hard
the invasion.
to believe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but people keep talking about a ceasefire, but we have to wait and see. And as winter gets harsher, it's going to be much harder for those on the ground.
Exactly. 저는 아직도 기억이 나는 게 이제 우크라이나에서 대선을 할 때가 기억이 나요. 왜냐하면은 볼로디미르 젤렌스키 대통령이 원래는 연예인 출신이었단 말이에요. 배우 겸 코미디언이었죠.
네.
그래가지고 뭐 이런 일이 일어날 거라는 거는 당연히 상상도 못했지만 그때 당시에 이제 우크라이나 대선 유력 후보로 배우 출신, 코미디언 출신의 젤렌스키 후보가 있다. 이런 소식을 이제 여러 해 전에 전했었던 게 기억이 나는데 그러고 나서 정말 엄청난 일들이 일어나고 지금까지도 쭉 이어지고 있습니다.
Yeah. The really bizarre thing is before he became president, he starred in a sitcom about him becoming president.
Exactly.
It's a very strange turn of events.
It is indeed. Well, Ukraine has disclosed the number of people who've died and injured. To disclose something, let's look at that.
Sue, I have to disclose to you that I'm a little embarrassed by my tongue-tiedness this morning.
That's
a secret bit of information that I'm now sharing with you because that is what disclose means.
Yeah.
If you disclose something, you're telling or showing something to someone that had been secret or private or unknown.
That's
and
right.
now you're making it known to them.
reveal이랑 비슷해요. 뭔가 밝히다, 알리다 이런 뜻인데요. disclose. close는 보여주지 않고 이렇게 덮어두는 거라면은 this는 그것의 반대니까 덮어두지 않고 열어서 공개해가지고 발표하는, 밝히는 것입니다.
Yeah. So for example, never disclose your card's PIN to a stranger.
Oh, never. PIN이라는 게 약자인 거 아시죠, 여러분? Personal Identification Number. 네, 그런 비밀번호 절대로 disclose 하면 안 되죠. 자, disclose가 여기서는 이런 이제 사망자와 부상자 숫자를 공개했다의 의미인데 선생님 얘기하신 것처럼 비밀번호 공개 안 됩니다. What about full-scale invasion?
Okay, so an invasion is when you attack another country, aiming to claim part of it or claim the whole of it. Full scale means it's a big attack. It's not a small attack. It's not just one corner.
Right.
Russia has been aiming to take over the whole of Ukraine and using all of its forces, all available soldiers and tanks and so on. We talk about something full scale, we're going 100% as opposed to only using 10% of what we have or 20 or 50.
Yeah, exactly. It's not partial.
Yeah.
It's like 100%, like you said.
Exactly, like when we have a full-scale model. Sometimes you may have a model of a building. It won't be full-scale because it would be the same size as the building if it was full-scale. Sue might have a full-scale cardboard cutout of herself, if she likes.
Of course I do. All around my house. I have it in every room.
And that would be the same height as Sue, the same size as Sue.
네, full scale이라는 단어 자체는요. 실제와 똑같은 규모다라는 의미로 쓸 수 있기 때문에 지도를 보면은 보통 이제 뭐 10,000분의 1 아니면은 뭐 100,000분의 1 해가지고 이제 축소됐다라는 스케일이 나와 있죠. 그렇게 해서 스케일이 그런 의미가 있을 수 있어요. 뭐 어느 정도로 그 규모가 축소가 됐는지 아니면 실제와 똑같은지 그런 스케일도 있고 여기서 말하는 full scale이라는 것은 전면적이다. 100%가 뭔가 동원이 됐다라는 의미예요. 부분적이지 않고 It's not partial, it's full scale. 그래서 full scale invasion은 전면 침공이 되겠습니다. 자, 그러면 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has disclosed that 43,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed and 370,000 wounded since Russia's full-scale invasion began nearly 3 years ago. Now let's move on to the final headline.
Ghana's former president and main opposition candidate, John Mahama, has claimed victory in the country's presidential election after ruling party candidate Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia conceded defeat.
가나 대선에서 집권 여당 후보인 마흐무두 바우미야 부통령이 패배를 인정하면서 전 대통령이자 주요 야당 후보인 존 마하마가 당선됐습니다. Tell us more.
We started with a record breaker. With Goat and his running. And now we have a record setter with the very first president in the 3 decades of Ghana's Fourth Republic to be voted out and then to reclaim the presidency. He's the first person to do it. It's his third attempt to get the presidency. And it's been all about the economy. The economy is the biggest issue in Ghana at the moment. Ghana defaulted on its debt, on its national debt as a country. It entered a $3 billion deal with the International Monetary Fund. Things have been difficult for Ghanaians. And I think they see, well, perhaps some hope in the opposition candidate who will be President John Mahama.
Exactly. With any election, we say that someone has claimed victory.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means you say you won. Yeah, I won. It's me.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you did necessarily. You've got to be very careful about claiming victory or admitting defeat or conceding defeat. But yes, if you claim victory, you're saying, I'm the winner. For example, if Sue and I play a board game, we play chess or we play Monopoly or we play Scrabble or whatever it is, and Sue thinks she's won. She claims victory, and I walk away with my tail between my legs.
아하. claim victory라는 것은 자기가 승리했다고 말하는 거예요. 이제 claim이라는 동사 자체는 사실 내 거다라고 말하는 겁니다. 그래서 claim victory는 내가 우승했다라고 말하는 건데 이게 한마디로 그냥 우승했다라는
네.
의미죠. 뭐 우승했다고 뭐 주장하다, 말하다라는 직역의 의미를 우리가 보통 번역할 때는 쓰지 않으니까. 그래서 John Mahama has won 이래도 돼요. 근데 John Mahama has claimed victory라는 표현을 많이 씁니다. 특히 이렇게 투표 아니면 뭐 대선 투표 때.
Well, there's a thing here. I'm not sure. I'd have to check about whether all the votes have been counted because
okay.
it could change. But the point is, his opposition has conceded defeat, so
Yeah,
therefore he can claim victory.
Okay, yeah. Well, in the U.S., former President Trump claimed victory in their presidential election, so he is now the president-elect.
Yes.
네, 그런 식으로 이제 어떤 선거에서 우승을 했을 때 이런 표현을 쓸 수가 있겠고요. 그다음에 패배한 사람은 they conceded defeat.
I give up. I can't do this anymore, Sue.
Are
I'm
you-
going to go home.
Conceding defeat.
I am against you, against my tongue this morning. No, if we concede defeat, we say, I've lost. That's it. It's over. I'm done with. So generally, when you have a free and fair and well-ordered election, there will be one candidate who will concede defeat and then the other will claim victory. That's, for example, in the American elections, that's the normal way to do things.
Yeah.
You wait for a candidate to concede defeat before you say, I'm the winner.
Exactly. 이 표현이 다 그냥 두 단어를 한꺼번에 외우면 좋은 표현들이에요.
네.
그래서 concede defeat, 네, D-E-F-E-A-T. 이거는 패배를 인정하다라는 뜻입니다. 아까 claim victory, 우승을 차지하다. 그리고 concede defeat, 패배를 인정하다. 이렇게 같이 알아두시면 좋을 것 같네요. Of course, in England, it's a little bit different. You don't have individual candidates. You have parties, and whichever party has the majority, the leader becomes the prime minister.
Yes, and sometimes they claim victory before they're actually victorious. Then they'll have egg on their face.
That could happen. All right, well, here's the headline again. Ghana's former president and main opposition candidate, John Mahama, has claimed victory in the country's presidential election after ruling party candidate Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia conceded defeat. Well, those are our 5 headlines with Paul Matthews.